We knew that they were going to press the whole game, misses and makes, and shoot the three and stuff. I didn't realize they were going to shoot it that much. They passed up on a lot of, I thought, layups and post-ups and stuff, but they started a little slow, and then once they started hitting threes, it's like they started getting in their rhythm. And, we tried something new that I normally wouldn't do is we played zone pretty much all the game, and it didn't seem like it worked for us. But, if you notice Amani Daniels, she had a double-double, but also she had 5 charges she took. So it's kind of what we need from everybody else. Our defense is going to struggle until we start doing those things. In the past we've done it, but we got to get other kids to do that. But yeah, I'll give credit to Arkansas State. They kind of came around and hit. I think it hit 18 threes, 19 threes. So it's tough to guard.
57-0 outside the arc.
Yeah,
it's hard to overcome.
And then 54 points off the bench. So, yeah, that's kind of tough. We didn't have really that much of a bench.
You got to go on the road for one more now, but you're going to be playing on that first day. So now do you start looking at, at the possibilities?
Yeah, you do. I think that's when we get out of here, that's going to be one of the things that we look to see who is and then you got the last week. Some people have 2 games next week. I don't know if it can change that much. I know we'll probably be last, so we're prepared to play on that first game. The first date. So, and it is. You hear a lot of people talking about the NCAA tournament and stuff, and then it's not a seed; it's who you match up with, and that's kind of like going to be important for us. If we match up with a team that we can probably, slow down defensively and make stops and able to push the ball down and score. So that's going to be important going into the tournament.
It looks like the 4 that'll play on that first day are set, so
yeah,
you probably can get a little bit of a jump on that.
Yeah, I think that's what we're going to look at, as soon as we get out of here. That's one of the things that we wanted to talk about and see who was there and the possibilities, I have the scout on Georgia State, so my rest of my weekend will be finishing that scout and stuff like that. So, and we haven't played them. It's the first time we played them this year, so it'll be interesting to see if we match up with them.
You got, I think, 37 points from the 2 freshmen. It looks like they sort of came along as the game went along today.
Yeah, I think it was kind of chaotic at the beginning, the way it's just the way it's played these days now. Some of those teams in the Sun Belt that want to shoot the 3 and press on a make and miss, it makes it chaotic, and it works for them. And the freshmen need to learn how to handle that. And I thought they did an all right job tonight, better than they have in the past, and I thought they attacked more, and they're probably strong, they're strong for freshmen. They'll get in the lanes and, we just got to get a little bit better jump shooters from them. Get better jump shots and stuff like that. And then defensively, Mosh needs to get better defensively. There's no doubt. She can guard on the ball. It's her off the ball defense. And then Amani's pretty dang good defensively for a freshman. Probably one of the better freshmen that I've had. That understands the game. And the charge she took in the middle of the floor. That's IQ. You can't normally just do that. That didn't just happen. She made that happen. So that's some of the things that she can do. So it's exciting to have them, and hopefully we can keep on working them in the spring and in summer and get better for next year.
Offensively, it seems like Amaj is playing with a lot more confidence. She came in really highly touted prospect. How have you seen her progress from the start of the season?
Yeah, I think just her being in a system that wants to try to run and be, under control, and it took her a while, I think. She comes from just doing whatever she did in high school, and on the defensive side, she didn't do anything defensively in high school. Not much, except guard the ball. They think in high school that's all you have to do is guard the ball, but the most important position is off the ball, and help and stuff. And so that's something that she really has to buy into, and I think she can, I think she has the athletic ability. She can rebound. She can do some things like that. And so, I think that's going to be something for her. If she can lock down defensively, it's going to make us a lot better. But she is offensively, she does a good job of, getting those jump shots. She's that kind of player that really fits into the Sun Belt where she can get in the middle, get to the free throw line, elbows, blocks, and score, It's just a matter of learning how to use the back. There's a lot of things that she needs to learn that could make her a really good player, you know, and, you know, that just takes time and willingness to do it, you know. It's hard work, you know, it's hard to, it's not, you know, looking at it from sitting in the stands, it looks easy, but it's not that easy.
Coach, the same question for Amani. Like, since she came back from that injury against Arkansas State, how have you seen her just step up her game?
Yeah, Amani's a really pretty much easy kid to coach and stuff, and I think that's why she's advanced so far, and I think her IQ is pretty high. But the problem with her, she's like a perfectionist, so she kind of gets in her own way. But since she's been hurt, you know, and been out and coming back, it took her a little bit, you know. I mean, she's a freshman. She's already a little bit inconsistent. So it took her a little bit to get back, but I think she's back, you know. And she's tough, man. That's a tough kid, you know. She'll go rebound. She had 18 rebounds tonight. The way I understand it was 18, something like that. 13 and 18, I think was what she scored. How much, 18? Yeah. So I knew it was those numbers, and that's pretty good, you know, against a team like that plays chaotic and stuff like that. I thought she took some advantage of some of the things that they gave her. So, you know, I think, you know, her work ethic and stuff is she can create herself to be a really, really good player, because she has what it takes to be a really good Division I player.
What about how the last 2 weeks you seem to handle the press a little bit better? How do you think it compared to from the first time you played Arkansas?
Yeah, you know, I did something different yesterday at practice. Usually, I want try to organize a little bit more. You know, to break a press, if you really organize and you're cutting and you're working together, it's easy to break a press, and that's been our problem. Us just kind of going all over. So I thought about it. Wasn't my scout; it was Casey's scout. But I thought about yesterday in practice. I've never done this in ever. We started guarding our scout team to miss a shot. Not to make a shot to take it out, but to miss a shot. We guarded them in man, and they missed a shot, and they pressed us. And, man, they were just as good. They were better than them. Our scout team was, like, really good. And, man, I was like, man, why haven't I done this? Because that's what everybody in the Sun Belt's pressing off the miss. That's, you know, that's what the big thing is. If you don't have a half-court game, you're going to press off the miss. And, man, it really, we started getting better and better at it. So, you know, I told the coaches right after that, I said, man, we need to put this in the summer. When we come in the summer and start doing this stuff and start pressing off a miss, because you can't really set up. And most of our kids just start taking off a transition because we run, and then all of a sudden the little guard's stuck at being trapped or being pressed and run and jump and all that. So I thought that helped us a little bit. I mean, we had 20 turnovers compared to 39. I mean, nothing to brag about, but it's better. You know, 19 less turnovers than the last game. Now you look at points; they scored more points. So we played a little bit too fast, I think, on the offensive side. We took some shots a little bit too fast. We wanted to kind of run the clock and make the possessions longer and make them guard longer.